Sync.
Takua!
Beautifully timed. Hello, everyone, and welcome to BrickFeed episode 98. I'm LJ.
I'm Var.
I'm Meso.
I'm Tenebrae Invictus.
I'm Takua!
And no one gets past the captain of the guard unless he wishes it.
Yes.
Amazing. That's flawless. That's beautiful.
Bionicle lives on, guys. This is Bionicle week.
I thought
Wait,
TTV.
Bionicle top 10.
You can't have Bionicle on BrickFeed.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Can we talk?
Come on, guys. This is a
Can we talk
long
about-
established thing.
Can we talk about how like Joller's like flirting with people, like females?
We literally just had a massive, like, 3-hour-long
Love isn't
canon
canon,
debate
my
on the other
Yeah.
night.
So
I don't want to do that again.
Meso and
so
I.
why is he flirting then?
Meso and I had a
dun.
long debate about love being canon in the Matorn universe, only to realize
He was
that
there as a debating third wheel.
we both realized at the end that both of us agreed entirely with the other. We just didn't realize it the whole time.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
the
you
best
guys are
part.
You guys
Stupid.
are great.
Wow, that's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
I think
That's such a huge waste of time.
It was.
It is.
The main
Yeah.
difference we have is I like to draw attention to the fact that Bionicle's story was horribly flawed, being written by so many different people with no consistency. Whereas
Oh
LJ
my
likes to
God.
downplay it.
Nesta, you're already putting me to sleep. It was like last night.
Meso.
We put both Purple and I to sleep talking about Destiny 2.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't see how I like to
Because you guys are
downplay it.
trolling
What do you
me.
mean down? No. Let's
You
go back
wanna
to that
fight?
downplaying thing, Meso.
Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight about Destiny, dude?
I'm-
X, you
ready to
convinced
go.
Smart to play Destiny. You can do it. You can succeed right
No,
now.
you can't.
I don't think he can actually. I've heard X talk about Destiny. It's also put me to sleep.
Dude, that's because I'm hardcore, man.
When do you think we're gonna get Destiny Lego after Mega Bloks loses that license? Yeah.
That would be
No.
funny.
All right.
That'd be
You're
hilarious.
not gonna, no. It's
Wouldn't
not
it be
gonna
funny? Wouldn't you want some Destiny Legos?
It's not
Okay.
gonna happen, though.
I want Destiny Legos.
I did not
You're not
ask
gonna
you
get it.
to be here.
Lego my ego.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Lego
So
Diego.
speaking of Lego, let's go ahead and start things off. Did you guys get any Lego over the week?
No.
No.
Okay.
I thought about it very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
hard, and then
Yeah,
I didn't.
did. Oh shit. Envy, your turn. You do it.
Oh my god.
No, for what? I didn't get anything.
I
I
thought you
went to
said
the
you were
mall.
gonna
I
get
went to the
anything.
mall and I stared at some sets and I thought about it, but like all the stuff here is like 1.5 times more than in price than like America. So what costs like $10 is actually like 15, and then it scales harder.
There's also
Like,
not
the
really
more
anything
expensive.
of interest out right now.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a very dark period. Every time I go to the store, I see Ninjago movie sets that I want to buy, and then I just turn away in sorrow. And then
Yeah.
there's nothing
I
else
was-
there.
I was actually considering going to Toys R Us earlier today because I heard today was the last day, and then I saw Kevin Hinkle's tweet about how like it's completely empty and it's not even worth taking a picture of it. I'm like, yeah, sounds like a wasted trip.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
No, it's rather sorrowing. I did sell some Lego actually.
Oh, me too.
I got rid of about 5 different sets, and I got awfully ripped off by Bricks and Minifigs. Now,
Really?
full disclosure, I love Bricks and Minifigs. I think it's a wonderful store, especially in places that don't have official Lego stores, because it's a buy-sell trade store. However, the Black Panther Pursuit aircraft set from the Black Panther wave, Master Wu Falls, the airport battle, the Marvel superhero airport battle, and a couple of others collectively, one of which is new in the box that I bought from the store. Those 5 collectively do not equal out to $81. They don't.
Is
Come-
that like the retail price of the airport battle?
That's almost the retail price of the airport battle. Not to mention it's complete. Not to mention that one of them
do
I
it,
bought
man.
from
and
them.
one of them was the airport battle that
Yes.
you gave to them.
Yes.
My gosh.
So, what I ended up doing...
The airport
$80. You should at
$80.
least get 30 for that set alone.
The airport
Yeah.
battle retailed for $80.
And
$79.99.
there we go. So, I'm a little bit burned about that. What I decided to do, because I had expected not only to get more, but at the same time, it's my own fault for going to them and not just selling them on eBay on my own. So I decided, you know what? Let's make lemons into lemonade. And I just went ahead and I got some prizes for some stuff I'm doing at Brick Fair this year instead. So it's the way it goes. It's unfortunate. Lesson learned.
Wait, did they give you actual cash,
So
or did
yes.
they give you store credit?
Yeah,
Cash.
they give you cash.
They gave me cash.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've got a local place here too that will accept Legos and like I just said Legos ironically by accident, but
Nice.
They rip you off as well if you try to sell it to them as well. But
Yeah.
they'll take it and they'll give you cash for it. So it's really convenient. Quick money.
See, that was my thinking. Like, it's convenient, it's here. I'll just get the cash quick. Unfortunately, I was stupid and did not factor in exactly how much they wanted to try and do this, and I just decided, you know what, it's not worth the effort to try and fight it. Get it out of I needed the space. I'll just do eBay from here on out and do small things there if I need anything.
On eBay tomorrow.
Yeah.
LJ is selling.
I mean, thankfully, they didn't take all of what I had to sell. I have a Technic set, which is worth like $200, which they said if I, had built, they would have bought from me as a set, but I didn't have it built, so they said they'd just buy it as bulk and recommended I just take it back with me, which I did, so that was a bullet dodged.
So I guess you could say that you technically still have some money to be made.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
I do
Sweet.
technically still have... Thank you, Messa. Okay. Var, do you want to talk a little bit about your sales? Okay, he's muted. All right. In that case,
Can I talk about my thing then?
yes.
Okay, so my girlfriend was in America. She was visiting her family from Houston, and she went to a bunch of different toy stores to look at stuff, just to see what prices they had, and she found the Jurassic Park set, which is like a Velociraptor attack something, which was for like $35 or something, and like the Norwegian price, like made to dollars, that is like $70 here.
Oh,
So she bought that for me, and it's like it's a really nice set, but it's like 699 Norwegian crowns, and that just sounds really expensive, and I'm just really glad that she got it from overseas. And I really liked this set. It's licensed, but like it's from all the old movies, and I'm quite nostalgic about that scene. So I really like this set aesthetically. Yeah, it was really cool.
super cool, man.
You like it
Nice.
aesthetically.
Yes,
My
yes,
gosh.
I do, Meso. That's very not nice meme, you know.
Impressive. Well, that's awesome, X. Like, I keep on telling you and Fwef and maybe not Keeney, but you guys just need to move on over. Just come on over, get like a proper entry, and then live here. Become a citizen, enjoy the U.S. life.
If only it was easy to become a citizen of the U.S.
That is true. It would be like 10.
It is so not worth it.
Okay, it is totally worth it. He was just saying how like he got the set for much cheaper prices, Var.
Dude, the amount of time he'd be waiting trying to get citizenship in the U.S., he might as well just work a job and make the money to pay for this.
But it's not like you need to be a citizen to get that. The price of Lego.
That's important.
Yeah,
It's like a regional discount.
Yeah.
But it's not dependent on becoming a citizen.
Listen.
Oh,
man.
you're not a citizen? Whoops! You're gonna have to pay like $70
have to
for
revoke your Lego
$35.
discount.
I'm just saying, it's far easier to just be here instead of having someone else go over and then come back. That's all. Yeah.
Well, it's not like she went over there just to get the set.
Well,
for
yeah,
him.
I know that. My goodness. Okay. Well,
Listen, LJ, you're wrong. Let's move on.
You should feel
listen,
bad.
I'm gonna
Ron,
go
do you want
ahead
to tell
and-
your selling story?
I mean, it's not really much of a story. I just sold my the transparent Tahoe mask that I got back in NYC. I guess that's rare or something because the guy paid like $300 for it on eBay.
A lot of money.
Yeah, I was shocked. I had it like the lowest bid that I put it up for was like $20. That was the starting bid. That's I thought it wasn't gonna sell for more than like 40. And then this dude bought it for 300.
My God.
So that was a good day.
Indeed it was. Meanwhile, LJ got ripped off.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, lesson learned. Okay. Well, in that case, let's
Talk
go ahead
about
and...
our news.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna do, dude. Till you rudely
Slow
interrupted
host.
me. Anyway, so we do actually have about 4 different reveals over the week that we can discuss. Starting off with 76117 Batman Mech versus Poison Ivy Mech, which was unveiled. And I'll go ahead and, for the patrons, post the link to the brick set article. So, full disclosure, I'm not very interested in Batman or DC. This is not too particularly interesting a set to me. It's, it's a mech. However, there are some interesting things about this, rather controversial things. The first being Poison Ivy's minifigure, and the second being the wasp, or is that yellow? A Firefly. Firefly. His helmet is unbelievably controversial because...
It looks horrendous.
His helmet is the
No.
same Ant-Man helmet.
No, that's the thing. This is actually, and I'll go ahead and get a picture in just a moment here. This is actually a perfect new Ant-Man helmet mold that is new to this set, and it has not been used in the new Ant-Man and the Wasp set.
This is a new mold?
This is a new mold, and it is exactly like Ant-Man's helmet. And I'll get a picture kind of displaying that in just a second here. Come on, LEGO,
But they're not
help me out.
using it, right?
Here we go.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
Okay, here. So this is a picture that someone mocked up. Look at that. And I will go ahead and get that on screen in just a second here.
Man, oh man.
Now, in a moment, I'll show you what the Ant-Man and the Wasp helmets are, and neither of them are this. So for everyone watching the stream right now, that is the comparison photo. On the left is the Firefly helmet from the set. On the right is the Ant-Man helmet from... it's either Civil War or the new Ant-Man and the Wasp film. I'm not sure. But that's not the helmet being used. The helmet being used for the Wasp is that kind of blank one that was used for Iron Man in that older set.
The one I despise.
Yeah, it was also used for the Vulture. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Before.
And the Vulture, yes, that's right. Let me see here. My goodness. I can't find it on Brickset. It's giving me the listing for Wasp Picks. Anyway, the other thing is the Poison Ivy minifigure is such a massive downgrade from her last appearance in the LEGO Batman movie sets, because that one had a new hairpiece, it had a new face printing, a new torso, it had leg printing, it had dual molded arms, it had arm printing. This
Oh my God, you're right.
This one does not have any of those. It is a massive, massive downgrade as far
Look
as
at
minifigures
this.
are concerned.
Batman movie. New set. What the? That is ridiculous. That's almost like new Lego versus old Lego comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Wow.
Let me oh yeah, and
That old one is so good though. It really makes me appreciate that a lot more now.
Oh yeah.
here, I'll go ahead and put that on the screen
But, like,
as well.
I don't know if that's a fair comparison though, because her appearance in those Lego Batman movie sets was kind of like made in conjunction with that she was going to be viewed on a wide screen, so they put a lot more effort into making the minifigures very aesthetically pleasing, like they did with the Lego Movie and Ninjago, etc. But still.
Yeah, that just
Indeed.
to me it's I wouldn't say unforgivable unforgivable. It's just apparent how much of a downgrade it is. It's disappointing, especially when we know they can do so much better. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Of course, there always is, but
It feels very 2010-ish.
mm-hmm.
Feels like we just traveled back several years.
I was very taken aback by this set because when I first saw the picture, just kind of like perusing around, I didn't actually like know what it was. I didn't see it with an accompanying article. When I saw this, my first thought was new construction IP.
Oh my gosh.
Like new mech theme, Hero Factory Invasion from Below too, because I thought that was like Evo.
It does look like a very
yeah.
good mech aesthetically, but
Yeah, it really does.
It is another Batman mech, though. We've had so many of these, but
Yeah.
it's a really cool
The
mech.
moment I
It's a
learned it was a
shame.
Batman mech, my interest went down like tenfold. But like, if I didn't know that was Batman inside, I honestly like couldn't tell. Just by looking at it, it just looks like a really cool, regular, evil-looking mech.
Yeah, definitely
Not
would
like
have
the
more appeal if
minifigures
it
don't have
wasn't attached to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
TBH.
Yeah.
And then I like Poison Ivy's. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It's a mech.
Tree mech. Not exactly the most useful thing, but
It looks kind of cool though. Kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much it's like retailing for, but
Let me see.
You
It is
do
gonna
right
be.
now?
The set
I don't
has
think we know
about
yet.
375 pieces, and it is going to come out January 1st, 2019, retailing for 40.
Oh wow.
Holla holla $40.
We have a whole year before we see this thing.
Yeah,
like that
half year.
Half
Really?
a year.
really early. Well, yeah, half a year. You're right.
That's the
Yeah.
SDCC curse. They always do stuff like this, and it's weird. They announced that one Hulk versus Red Hulk set, and we had to wait like 7 months. It's
Mm-hmm.
bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. On the one hand, I think the Firefly minifigure is horrendous. I think it's not even so much the helmet that is the problem, so much as it is that little transparent thing around his neck that I think is used to attach his backpack.
Yeah.
It probably won't be a big deal when his backpack's attached because the colors will blend in. But in that picture that they just kind of have the minifigures shown, it looks like his head is floating above his neck, and it's very distracting. I can't like unsee it once I've noticed it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the minifigure itself is actually fine. I think that it's.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of him in different media, and it's a very faithful
Exactly.
adaptation. The issue is not so much with it; it's the fact that it is using a helmet that should also be used in the recent Ant-Man and the Wasp set. And I finally got a picture to kind of juxtapose with, and I posted it in chat. Those are the minifigures in the newest Ant-Man and the Wasp set. Wasp is using a completely different helmet, and it's aforementioned the one used for the Vulture. It's also one that's been used in other sets like Iron Man, and there was one other, Iron Patriot, was it? No, whatever.
It was
I'll-
Detroit Steel.
That was it. Thank you. And then Ant-Man is using the exact same helmet he used for his initial set when the first movie came out. It's the exact same one. It doesn't look anything like any movie variant. It's almost a borderline comics variant.
Well, I think Walk mentioned in the chat maybe they're going to be using it for Avengers 4.
That's what a lot of people are guessing, and they figure, and they believe that the reason,
Saving molds.
the reason that a lot of people think that they're not using it here is because the Batman set comes out in January, and this set is already out, so there probably wasn't enough time was made after this was created.
True enough. I could buy that excuse.
Yeah, so yeah.
All in all,
That's-
pretty decent set, but a little weird quirks.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so let's go ahead. X, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think I said my my bit.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, we'll go ahead and move on. There was another announcement, another BrickFeed announcement, and this time
Can they redeem themselves after last week?
getting tired
I
of you
don't
messing.
think they can.
No, I'm kidding. A 41626 Gruten rocket. This was revealed. I don't know if there's a price point. I don't know if there's a release date, but it is Groot and Rocket from Infinity War. I will go ahead and link the Brickset article in the patron chat. There we go.
It is Groot.
I think they're
My
good.
opinions are mixed.
How
I
so?
think they're pretty good. I definitely think they're better than Jack and Sally. I definitely think it's redemptive. I wouldn't have chosen that color for Groot
I thought that as well, but I think that's because like they're supposed to have like the teenage version or whatever. But
Yeah,
still,
that is
I feel
definitely
like
what
it'd be
it is.
better with dark brown. Yeah.
It was very off-putting to see that color with such a minimal dark brown effect on him. It's not even like immediately like once I know it's Groot, it definitely makes sense. I can see it, but like that's not my immediate first thought. Like without knowing who the character is, because it's not the colors that I expect to see him in. But it's a very minor thing. Like it is accurate technically. It gets the look, and it is a pretty good aesthetic. I love how they have the plant coming off the head, and the shaping of the head is very, very, very Groot-like.
Yeah.
So I give them props for design on that one.
I think
Well,
that's an
for it
interesting
being
point you
lighter.
made, though. I think that's an interesting point you made though about it, like how it's it doesn't really look immediately recognizable as Groot. I think it's one of those that you kind of need to actually get with Rocket to kind of realize who it is.
Totally. And to be fair to them, like X said, it's like teen Groot. It is more accurate to teen Groot than actual Groot. So props there, because adult Groot gets darker, his wood goes darker. Kid Groot is actually lighter. So, like that, if I'm being honest, that is fairly accurate. I can't really fault them for
Yeah,
that.
it's not the same.
But the Groot model that everyone is, I was going to say most familiar with, but is that even true anymore? Kid Groot's been in more movies than adult Groot.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Groot.
You might have flipped. This might be the main Groot. So fair enough, Lego. Maybe you know what you're doing.
I
ahead of the
think
curve.
yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's good. It looks accurate to the film, especially Infinity War, which I believe this is based off of specifically. I think Rocket is
so.
absolutely fantastic. Like I love that they're doing
Rocket looks good.
these smaller variants. Rocket looks absolutely wonderful. And I like Groot. I think this is a good one.
Yeah,
we
Rocket
know-
is neat.
I like
Do we know how
Groot.
much the smaller ones are in comparison? If it's the same price, and what the piece count difference would be?
They've been doing this twin pack thing. They've been
Yeah.
Twin
bundling
pack.
them.
Okay.
This, yeah.
Okay.
I did
think
actually.
when it's a small one, I believe it's $15. When it's a big one and a small one.
Yeah, no,
like
Okay.
Luke and Yoda.
that is apparently the retail for this, $15. I don't
Yeah,
have a
15.
part
Okay,
count.
that's good then. That's half price then. Cool.
Yeah.
Indeed. And I
That's
think
good,
Harry and Hedwig was 15 as well. Don't quote me on that.
That's good. All right. Cool. Very
Yeah,
fair.
Rocket's alright. I can't really fault anything about him. The whiskers are cool, the ears are cool, the cheeks were cool, the tail is a little funny. Like someone posted a shot of the back of the box to show the tail in good detail. I'm
Wow.
sorry. And it looks weird.
Oh my.
It looks very peculiar.
I
Boom.
wish you had not done that almost. I don't want to say Joker, that'd be lending a little too much credence. That insane asylum patient laugh you just did.
Listen,
Okay, here
comedy
we go.
is a fine art, and I am
You're blind. No, I'm kidding.
painter.
Here we go. I got that picture up on the screen. Yeah, the tail's a little peculiar. I think that'd look a little bit better if it were upward. Like if you cant it
Oh,
upward,
definitely.
that would
Yeah,
alleviate
it's
that.
really it's weirdly round.
Yep.
Interesting.
And it's accurate, but like it's weird on a brickhead where everything's square, and then you have like the
yeah,
round
it,
tail.
it feels like you could have gone with a different solution to that, with like more like slopes and actual bricks instead of the round domes. I'm not sure why they went that route.
Mhm. Yeah.
Overall, thumbs up. I like this Lego, but I still will never forgive you for what you did to Jack Skellington.
Yeah, I'll
All
get
right.
over it.
No, I
Okay.
really won't.
Nah, I'm sure.
That cut me to my very core.
Yeah, it's funny. No. Okay. Envy, do you have any thoughts or comments? Okay. So in that instance, because he's muted, we're gonna go ahead and move on. So
I'm finally alive
Oh.
as soon as you proclaim me dead.
all right, Envy, do you have any thoughts on the Rocket and
No.
Groot brickheads? Thank you.
Okay.
Nice.
In that case, we're gonna move on now. So one of the much larger announcements over the week, and something that filled me with such a sense of vindication, was the reveal of the Harry Potter collectible minifigures. That's a little bit of a mouthful. And this came with a ton of new molds, new pieces, wonderful stuff, new prints, just a bunch of fantastic. Short legs are now posable. Oh yeah, raise the roof, my friends! Raise the roof!
Raise the roof. I pray to short legs every night.
Why is this such a big thing, LJ?
This is a big thing for me because it means I was right!
For those who may not recall or might not have watched our podcast, we had a little project called Brickonicle, where we were like, hey, let's make Bionicle, but as a system theme. And we made a bunch of mocks, and we came up with like a plot, and we came up with a whole thing from the ground up. And we were trying to figure out if the Toa are regular minifigures, and they're supposed to be bigger than Matoran, should the Matoran have short legs, or should they have regular legs? The reason it's infamous is because we had many prolonged hour-long debates.
We basically debated about this for like at least I would say maybe 8 hours worth.
I think
of
that's a very fair assessment. 8 hours of the content strictly about.
And, like, a lot of it happened off recording too. Like it was ridiculous. But basically it was like, well, we want to give them short legs, but short legs aren't articulated, and that ruins their value or whatever.
Their non-existent value.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, apparently the common point raised by one particular individual was that
it was one guy. It was one guy.
A minifigure that has short legs does not have any value whatsoever.
Yeah, it is really funny when you look back on it. And it's like literally only one person in the entire debate in favor of not giving them short legs.
And I
was willing to entertain like both sides for the sake of discussion. There was some merit, but only one person really cared enough to fight against it. Yeah, I was willing to discuss it, but there was only one person who was adamant against it. No, they can never.
He got his way.
I can understand it.
Okay,
well,
so
now here we are. Short legs are now posable.
Yes.
So. Kind of.
Now, okay, yeah, this is a little bit of a half and half. So, in this minifigure series, there are 3 different types of legs that are used in minifigures. So there are the normal legs, which, they're standard. There are these new molded legs, which are, at least according to Vart, roughly 1 module shorter than the normal legs. And then we have the normal short legs with no posability, which are another probable 1 modular lower than these new legs. So...
yeah, there's basically a stud's length difference between them.
What about the like Jedi robes, like thingies?
Yeah, that is also there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Those are fairly new.
Jedi robes thingies.
I didn't know it was new, but yeah, that is there.
They're like in the new Star Wars like battle pack where you get like 2 clones and 2 Jedi. Kiadi Moody and like the little Padawan girl. I don't remember the set, but I know it's like out right now.
Nice.
Someone link it.
So
please, Patreons.
Clearly, this isn't meant to be short legs that are now posable. It's meant to kind of be an in-between where it's like, medium legs basically. It's for like teenage characters.
The closest they could get while still allowing them to sit down and have like a stud hole on the bottom of the leg, probably is the reason for this. If I had to guess. So
yes,
it works out quite well.
I believe there is a stud hole. Now I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm pretty sure I saw something that would indicate that. So I believe there is one there, but yeah, it's really cool. It's a nice in between. There was a point brought up after we were talking about how this could be perfect for Matoran, and that since it is medium and not short legs, it still isn't quite what we wanted. But
enough.
Now it's actually better than what we originally pitched, which was making short legs, posable. Because now we can actually get away with having Matoran who are shorter than Toa, as well as having children Matoran characters as well. So it's like literally the best of both worlds. Awesome.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We got printing. We got Posability, we got it's amazing. I feel like this is everything I could have wanted, not only because it helps me be on the winning side of this discussion, but it's just a good thing. Now, I went around after I was fired. I went around to a bunch of different communities to kind of discuss things with people, get a little more versed in LEGO general. And one of the things I learned was that nobody really cares about the value between short-legged characters and normal-sized minifigures. It's of no general consequence. So that never was a thing, but this is also just wonderful. It's just fantastic. These are great minifigures anyway. I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, but I can acknowledge these are stellar. So many great new hair pieces and the molds, and you guys would probably be better elaborating on that.
I could honestly just rant and rave about how good these minifigures are all day because they
talk about Mad Eye Moody and how much better he is than the last Mad Eye Moody.
How about how much better these are than any of the last Harry Potter minifigures? Like, man, the Harry Potter series did not get the best treatment in terms of minifigure design.
No, it did not. LJ, I've got a picture that I want you to put up on the screen right now. It's going to slightly illuminate for the uninformed. That's old Mad Eye Moody versus new Mad Eye Moody.
Okay, now this is a picture I need to put up.
They squeezed his face together.
Fun fact, the Mad Eye Moody is actually, he has a double face.
That's so awesome.
Because it was revealed in the little pamphlet that you get with collectible minifigures that Mad Eye Moody specifically comes with another hairpiece. You get to turn his head around, and a lot of people are going to be saying it's the first David Tennant minifigure.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool! It's
Yep.
a Barty Crouch minifigure too!
Barty Crouch.
That it is.
That's great!
Dude, that's amazing.
That's actually really cool. I like that
I
a
want
lot.
that. I'm gonna get that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Also, so I got the picture up on screen. Oh my gosh. Like, the one on the
I like
right...
Killicar's comment, you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about.
Yeah, the one on the right looks like an official LEGO minifigure. The one on the left looks like it's fan-made.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah,
like
really
a
does,
knockoff
honestly.
I'd find on the street.
No, I think a lot of these are quite awesome. Like 90% of them are basically perfect. There's two that I really have an issue with. Number one is Harry in the invisibility cloak, which looks freaking funny. It looks
It's
like
loading up for me.
it's loading up. It looks like he's paranoid, so he's like skipped the tinfoil hat and he's gone like full on
Tinfoil cape.
tinfoil cloak. He must protect himself.
I think
I mean,
it was
yeah,
a clever way of going about it, personally.
I think it serves
Yeah,
its
I think this is
purpose.
the best way they could have gone about it. to be
You're
honest.
right. I'm just being mean. It's the only way they could have gone about it. They did what they had to do. It just looks weird.
I mean, if you really want to see him, you could take off the cloak.
Too true. And then second of all, I think this is supposed to be Cho Chang.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What's going on there?
I'm not sure.
What is that?
So,
I don't know what happened to her
It
this...
looks like
The
she's
face,
standing
the
in
shade.
skirt.
Rotate. Yo, ow.
It's like she put on her skirt upside down.
Her skin tone is also way darker than I was expecting it to
This
be.
this is something that Just Too Good mentioned when he made a video regarding these. It's a much darker skin color. And he even had a picture comparison with the actress.
She has the same skin color. She has the same skin color as Dean Thomas, who's black.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Strange.
My goodness. Yeah.
So those are really my only two big complaints. I think the rest of them are basically perfect. Oh wait, no, I forgot. There's like one more super grievous problem.
No, he's not in this wave.
Luna isn't holding the Quibbler upside down. 0 out of 10. I'm done
Oh my
with
gosh,
this
come on,
analysis.
Okay.
That
Thank
is
you.
a good little,
Non-canon.
nice little Harry Potter knowledge you're
That is.
flaunting out there, huh?
Such friggin' nerd critique.
Man.
Are these
I'm
these
such
are
a nerd, XD.
these new ones?
Yes.
I think so.
They are new for this
Okay.
Harry Potter re-release, basically. So you're going to find these new
Gotcha.
wands in all of the new sets.
That's really cool.
You can like angle them in like any angle or whatever.
Oh yeah,
you can hold them at like the ball at the edge. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh,
Wow, what a good design.
I don't really.
Goldie and the snake.
Yeah.
Epic.
It occurs to me.
That's pretty cool.
There is a little bit of news regarding one of the upcoming sets. I don't really know if it's leaked or not. There's a picture posted. It wasn't confidential or anything. I'm not going to host any of the images up here. It's not of the set, but it's of what it is going to be. They are going to be releasing a new Hogwarts castle. Rumor had it was UCS. It's going to be a D2C, direct-to-consumer set.
Micro scale.
It is going to be micro scale. We got a picture of the micro scale figures. So we know that it is.
F.
Yeah, we've seen the micro scale figures. Someone posted a photo of all of them, and yeah, it is confirmed to be micro scale. Hogwarts Castle.
Okay, well, here's the thing though. On one hand, it really sucks that Hogwarts Castle is not like an actual to scale set like before. But a micro scale Hogwarts Castle means we might actually be able to get like
The whole
a
thing.
Hogwarts Castle that looks like the whole thing. Yeah.
Because if it was like not micro scale, they would never. It would just be the same locations.
It would just be one tower and like the hall.
It would just be a tower and the hall and maybe the Whomping Willow if we got lucky, which is the same stuff they've already done in like smaller scale sets.
Yeah.
Just bigger. Maybe now.
If we get a micro scale, though,
landscape.
we might get a really cool Hogwarts set.
Yes.
So that actually has me very hyped, and honestly, that might be like the first micro scale set I end up getting.
Now,
that sounds awesome.
For the record, the last micro scale D2C direct-to-consumer set I recall us getting
Helicarrier.
was, yes, the Helicarrier from Marvel. And that was unbelievably fantastic. So, I think we're in for something really great.
Fingers crossed.
Let's hope.
Don't let us down, Lego. Counting on you.
But yeah. Anyone else got anything to add?
Not too much. I really like these minifigures. Trelawney looks great.
Yes.
Great.
Perfect.
Yeah. Percival Graves looks older than he should, but he still looks good.
I think Dumbledore looks the best. That's definitely what I'm gonna have to get.
Good old Dumbledore.
Yeah, I gotta love that Dumbledore. But yeah, these are all really great. I'm really happy with the amount of printing on all of them. There's
They're all
lot going
very
on.
distinct.
Yeah.
And all got like their little decals and stuff attached
Even the
to them.
minifigures that could just be duplicates, like Harry or Ron and Hermione, they all have the same uniform, but even then they're all different. The uniforms are customized, and like, you know, Hermione's got hers buttoned up and Ron has the tie instead of the sweater. So that's really cool. It's an extra level of detail that they just added there to make them a bit more unique.
Love it.
In fact, Ron specifically, he has the second known recolor of the Han Solo hairpiece, because it usually just comes in that kind of almost lightish brown, but it was also recently recolored to be basically dark tan for one of the other Solo sets, and this is the third recolor in burnt orange. So that gives us 3, and I'm hoping so dearly they put in dark brown. Please, Lego.
You know, this series actually would make a good little like sig fig custom pack to like make your sig fig a member of Hogwarts.
Yes.
Gryffindor or something, because there's so many different customization options here with the same uniform. So
I'm so glad that this is a thing. I'm so glad Harry Potter Lego is finally getting the respect it deserves.
all right.
Time to create my OC minifigure. My Harry Potter fanfiction.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the largest announcement, I would say, arguably the largest. It's the longest waited announcement. Longest awaited. My apologies. The Voltron LEGO Ideas set. Oh my goodness. We had known this, I think it's one of, if not the only idea set that was kind of, when they made the announcement, when it was in review, they said, all right, so we're going to make our announcements. These are the sets that are going to be, sets. And they picked one. I don't remember which. And then they said, however, we're still talking about Voltron. And it is the only one where it's like, they had to say, hey, we're not disqualifying it. We're still talking about it.
They really wanted to do it.
Yes, they really wanted to do it. And I know at least very specifically Tooth Dominoes, who is a set designer over at LEGO, Tooth Dominoes on Twitter. Fantastic fellow. I recently had him on my show with a few other set designers. He discussed exactly how heavily he tried to get this to work. He worked very hard on this, and he was a very large driving force between trying to get this to work out. Yeah. So let's discuss it.
Honestly, like, seeing his Gurren Lagann box, I honestly can't think of a better person they could have chosen to make this. It's like right up his alley.
Put it in the good hands, the right hands.
Yeah. Like, literally, it's like this set was custom made specifically for this guy to make. So that's really cool that he got a chance to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that they have the transformation thing like that. It's just so perfect for LEGO, and it looks.
It really adds value to the set too.
And so thought out. I'm so tempted to pick it up. I'm just not too into Voltron, so I don't really want to use that much money on something that I'm not just a huge fan of. But man, this set looks good. Like, I really want LEGO to just delve into a new mech theme.
I really wish
stuff
they
like
do
this
more
would be so
mechs.
great.
Like, a theme specifically around mechs would be great.
Yeah, they had it once and it was awesome.
We need Nexto Force.
Oh my gosh. Slight clarification. Kevin Hinkle in the YouTube chat said that it's actually happened a few different times. Project X, quote unquote, still being considered, and some have even been dropped after that. So, fair enough. But
well, fake news Elvis strikes again.
Listen, what the heck, dude?
Wow, LJ. Wow.
Oh my gosh, I really am back at TTV.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna pick this one up when I get the chance to. I'm a huge fan of the LEGO mechs, and I really want to support that avenue. I want them to keep making more of those. It's the closest thing to Construction I think I'll ever get at this point. So, I definitely want to get.
How much
it
is
looks
it?
really cool.
It's $180.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey, but I mean,
How many parts?
There's a lot of pieces here. I think 2,200 something. I want to say
2,321.
There we go.
And lots of colors and lots of joints. You know, I think every aspect is good.
Yeah, I believe that puts the price per part down to 7 cents, 7 point something cents.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. It's a good value.
It's a masterpiece of a model, that's for sure. And I want them to keep making mechs, so I think it's good to support.
Are you just
if you like it?
Are you priming us with positivity before
I
you
am.
get to negativity? Okay.
Yep.
I am indeed doing
Figured as
that.
much.
I think it's really important for LEGO to keep making mechs, so they can keep finding out ways to improve the mech formula, so they can perhaps
Stop putting
devote
Batman in mechs, LEGO.
so they
Have
can perhaps
enough of
devote
those.
a certain amount of time and money to
Mess up.
Put
Spit it out.
original
Spit it
characters
out.
in
Way.
mechs.
to give
Before
mechs
you-
knees.
Before you
It
start,
is.
before you start getting into the knee thing, I also want to point out another positive thing, not about the set at all, but the art design for the box is really good.
Yes.
So
It's one of the best boxes they've done, honestly. Like, it's
That's right.
incredibly
it's so
vibrant.
nostalgic. It's so good. It really stands on its like I remember Voltron being one of the hottest toys back when I was a kid. Like I don't know what company sold it, but it was like a Voltron action figure. You could buy each line individually, and if you got all of them, you could build the Voltron robot, and it was the coolest thing ever. So I know that this set is going to appeal to so many AFOLs out there. Like I want it, you know? It's really cool. Anyway.
It's incredible, and it's an excellent way to pay homage to the franchise. I think anybody who's a fan of Voltron is going to love it. Well, without a doubt. So in that aspect, it being a LEGO Ideas set, it being a licensed set, it succeeds without a doubt. Let's talk.
All right.
Let's talk
Tell us what you
nitty-gritty
hate about it. Yep.
Well, it's just one of those things, you know. It doesn't just not have knees. It also doesn't have hip articulation. It also doesn't have ankle articulation. So, it has basically no articulation. Like one out of
huge,
3, forgivable. 3 out of 3, not forgivable. And you're right, it is huge. It's literally impossible for them to do it. To Domino's exact quote. Seriously though, no knees in Voltron, no hip or ankle either. With a model this size, we cannot do that. Believe me, we tried. And you know what? I do believe him. I completely believe him.
I believe him.
he exhausted every single avenue possible to the design team. So, Is it a fault of the set designer? No. It's just one of those things they need to figure out a way around this problem. And by they, I mean just LEGO in general. They need to construct a new durable type of joint that can handle more weight. Because when you have a mech, I was saying this off air, I was like, okay, so vehicles. Vehicles are cool to play with for kids. You can move them around, you can swish them around, you can also display them if you want. Buildings are cool for display. They can sit there and look cool, but they're landscapes. They have functions occasionally, but they also have minifigures, so you can create dioramas, you can create a living, breathing city, you can like reorient everything. That's the purpose of that. Mechs, their purpose is to be posable, like action figures, in a sense. When you're not able to do that, you lose the purpose behind a mech, IMO, and it basically becomes just a statue. And at that point,
have you made an articulated system-based Lego mecha though?
No, nor do I have to be able to criticize.
I know, but I'm just saying joints are a pain.
They are a pain. It certainly gave me a tough time when I was making my Faramok.
Stability, dude.
I do think that it's highly possible for LEGO to come up with a solution to this, though. They need to do something, but we need some kind of new part to act as the joint. I think they were kind of on to something with the ball joint extension thing. I forget what it's called. The friction joint.
The friction joint adder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good solution. So something similar to that, maybe, or maybe something, scale. Or maybe to revisit the racket joint, because the racket joint, we've had that joint for a very long time, and it's surprisingly very weak. It works in certain like sizes, but like I tried to use the racket joints for my Faramok, and it did not work at all. I had to switch to ball joints, and yeah. So I feel like the racket joint can work because other companies use rackets.
Can you post a picture of the joint you're?
It's the one that was with Knight's Kingdom.
Yeah.
For the joints in Knight's Kingdom. All right, here.
Like for a mech of this size, I don't expect them to use the
King's mech.
No, Knight's Kingdom.
Yeah.
The Knight's Kingdom construction.
Oh, those.
Essentially ratchet click joint.
Those are terrible.
Yeah, the little click joint thing.
Well, it's that design philosophy that they would have to use. I do not expect a mech of this size to have a fully swiveling ball joint. I think
ball joints might be too much for it.
That's a step too far, but ratchet joints that you can click into a variety of poses that can be reinforced to be sturdy, I think that's an achievable goal if enough time and money was put into developing it.
What I was saying was that other companies use racket joint systems for larger scale figures like this with similar weight capacity. It's possible. It's just a thing that they need to revisit. They need to look at a solution to that, a stronger ratcheting joint that maybe has less. I would even sacrifice less movement than the current one for stronger, posability. Like if it can hold that pose better, then I think that's the better solution here. Because any posability is better than no posability at this point. So.
Yeah, I feel that I mentioned on Twitter that this looked like an absolutely phenomenal set, and I stand by that. I think that it looks unbelievably incredible. I think that it's easy for me to say that it is the best LEGO mech yet, just given its sheer size, the construction, like looking at it, it's so smooth but detailed at the same time. It's intricate. Like you can see the individual pieces that go into the detailing. It's evident to me that there was a lot of time and effort spent on this. It was a passion project. It had so much love and care poured into the design. So I personally believe it is easily the best LEGO mech yet. That being said, I do partially agree with Meso. Given how much of a fan I was of Exoforce, where the majority of the mechs had articulation in the knees and elbows, to me, having a mech with limited articulation is borderline unacceptable. It does not make for a good mech. I definitely agree that there is some credence to it being statuesque. I don't think that I'm going to get this set, not because that is a deal breaker for me, because I got the Fire mech from Ninjago movie line, simply because I just don't have a vested interest in Voltron. I'm not familiar with the source material. I've never seen any of the shows, not the old one, not the Netflix show. I don't really know if I will right now. So the figure itself, it looks fantastic, but I do agree the fact that there is no articulation is a massive downside, especially in the leg area. Obviously, the arms have some decent amount of articulation. Those look fine. But at the same time...
It's just a shame.
Yeah, exactly. It is a shame. But at the same time, there's so much more to the set. Like, it can combine, it can disassemble into... All these separate models could have easily been released as individual sets. It could have been a Voltron Wave.
Yeah, it could have.
It's added really value.
Cool. But at the same time, as cool as I think it is, and I personally am a huge fan of it, it almost does seem like it's kind of just what is the word for it? I don't know. It feels kind of empty though, because like the idea of all the lions being able to combine into the set is awesome. It's a nice little like idea, but once you have it in, you're not gonna like really play with the lions much, right? I mean, this set is a display set, IMO. I would think it's a display set because there's limited articulation in the set itself. So in terms of actually playing with it, I can't imagine a lot of kids would be that interested in something like this. When I was a kid, I hated statues. I wanted something I could play with.
They definitely come off as being like dependent on being combined into the main thing.
Yeah, there's a word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Shallow?
Yeah, around shallow. Yeah, that's not the word I was thinking of, but that kind of does.
Listen, for me, the common response to a lot of this when people say, articulation, the response is, well, are you really gonna play with it? A $180 mech? Are you gonna play with it? You're an adult. Are you gonna swish it around the room and fight?
This isn't something to play with.
For me, no, I wouldn't play with it. At the same time, when you buy something that large, there's a certain amount of like value in terms of functionality that I associate with the model. What it can do versus what I will actually do with it are two separate scales, if that makes any sense. One's objective, one's subjective. And when this really can't do anything besides stand there.
Well, for me, the articulation has nothing to do with being able to play with it, the ability to play with it. It's because of why you're purchasing this set to begin with, right? 'Cause like I mentioned, this is not something to play with; it's something to display with, or display.
You can't display it in
and
cool
you can't
poses.
display it. The only thing you can put it in is the single statuesque pose,
like the Hulkbuster, which is horrible.
Like the Hulk, exactly. And like I collect Gunpla, and I think Gunpla is really cool. But I also like to put those things in really cool and dynamic poses, and that is like part of the value of that whole thing for me is the ability to not only build it, but to also create really cool action scenes with them. And that's something I would love to do with this Voltron set because it's so gorgeous and so beautiful and awesome, and I want to give it the justice it deserves by giving it a really cool pose that you can't do. The only thing you can do is have it stand there like a derp. and it's cool that he can move his arms and his legs a little bit, but like when you lack knees and you lack ankles,
and
that
hips.
limits and hips, you don't have any poses that you can do. So at that point, you just kind of have him saluting, and not even saluting. He's just like holding his arm out like an idiot. That's all you can do with him.
T-pose.
So at that point, you might as well just keep him standing still as a statue. So when you get rid of the knees and the ankles, you might as well at this point just get rid of all the joints because there's nothing you can do with it.
Yeah, just don't make him mech.
It's superfluous.
So for the record though, King's mech from Nexonites is still the best mech. So if you're looking for like the best Lego mech for your value, then that's still the
fair enough, man.
Top of the leaderboard. King of the castle. Nothing's gonna beat that yet. Not even the Batman mech. So we'll just gonna have to wait and see what Lego has to
Batman mech
offer.
got nothing on King's mech.
Yeah, boy.
I the Wolf, no fam. It's the Quake mech. I agree.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, Quake mech is dope. That's a really good mech.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, just to reiterate, I don't criticize To the Dominoes. I criticize this Lego's existence.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to do it.
There was apparently like there's a process that this goes through. It goes through like a quality control of sorts, and it just he's mentioned this. It just didn't work out. Like he really did try very hard to get it so that we could do more. But I understand his thought process that he's mentioned on
Don't
Twitter.
Succeed.
And I absolutely believe him too, because like I mentioned earlier, he did a Gurren Lagann mock, and I believe, looking at his Flickr, that is in a similar scale to this, and it has knees, so it's not like he doesn't know how to do it. But I imagine that simply having knees isn't enough. It needs to be able to have knees while also maintaining its weight and being able to stand consistently.
Yeah,
And
for
that's
long
the
periods
problem.
of time.
The quality control there is the thing.
Yeah. So I get the reasoning.
Essentially, that's it.
I understand the rationale. Like, I mean, I mentioned during my show when I was talking to Tooth Dominoes that, you know, he is the sole reason I ended up going to pick up the Fire Mech from the LEGO Ninjago movie line. Because his rationale as to why it didn't have knee articulation, it kind of struck a chord with me. It's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. This mech is cool. Now that I understand that kind of background information, I'm going to try it out. No regrets. Phenomenal set. I'm absolutely certain this will be too. But I will absolutely, any day of the week, acknowledge, yes, the lack of articulation is a massive flaw. To me, it certainly does bring down the quality of the experience. However, at the same time, there are other experiences you can glean from this, such as the building experience. Is it fun to build? Is it fun to have on your shelf? Is it fun to attempt
And the
to play
combining.
with? And the combining. I think there's just such a
As
massive
Rodimus
amount
Prime,
of value here.
as Rodimus Prime says in the chat, as a Voltron fan, what I like is that it does still combine. Combining is a key aspect of Voltron, the same way transforming is a key aspect of Transformers. So,
It's true.
touche to that for Voltron fans. It checks the box.
Oh.
Does this set have any spring shooters, shape or form at all?
I don't
think
believe so.
so.
This is really fantastic. Coco, who's a moderator on our message boards and in the audience chat right now, he said, according to Tooth Domino's brick set, he went through 20 different versions of the complete model before it was accepted.
I can see
Yeah,
that
that
completely,
doesn't surprise me.
given the combining feature and like perfecting that to the point that it's as smooth as it is. You can see it in like the pictures how refined it is, and like it looks really smooth now, which means that at some point it was incredibly messy, and every step he took was to just simplify something that was just ultimately too excessive.
Yeah.
So I applaud this. Once again, I think it's the best LEGO mech thus far. I think there is still room for improvement as far as mechs as a whole go, but it's wonderful. I think it's great. Definitely worth the expectation that people had been kind of hyping up.
Good use of LEGO ideas.
Yes.
For once.
Absolutely.
It's not a gray box. It has lots of color. It's not something you usually get from LEGO. It gets all the check boxes. It's good. This is what we want. Not Star Wars boxes.
Yeah.
Please, no more Star Wars.
This is the antithesis to Star Wars.
The anti-Star Wars set.
Yeah.
All right. That's
Anyone
about all
else?
for the news.
No?
Does X want? Do you want to do an extra mock today? Do you have one?
I
prepared?
am 100% unprepared for an extra.
No problem.
That's fine.
100%.
Actually, if you guys would be okay, there was a mock that the TTV Twitter account kind of shouted out. Would you guys like to discuss that a little bit?
Yeah.
No, I'm not okay
Sure.
with that.
Do
Okay.
it.
You're not okay.
Great. So this was something that had been tweeted out. I didn't do it. I don't know who did.
It was me.
Got it. This is a mock by Poharu on the
It was
TTV message
hard.
boards. It is called Melody Spirit of Nature. And let's go ahead and discuss
So
it a little bit.
cool. So unique. The skirt design, the bird, the hat, the hair.
For me, the thing that really stuck out to me and I really liked was just the shaping of the legs. Like you really was able to capture like the thighs and then the calves and whatnot. Really.
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, capturing something in the flesh in Lego like this is very impressive, and getting
Yeah.
that humanoid structure and what'd you call it? You know.
Anatomy.
Yes, that you did that well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a really pretty mock too. Like the colors are nice. There's flowers and everything.
They blend
it's a
together
nice
incredibly well.
Yeah, it's a nice little mock.
It's very different from something I'm used to seeing, like super edgelord, black armored mock with a crazy
Exactly.
sight and a skull. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is like it's combining CCBS with systems. All those freaking AFLs are like, ooh, construction. Yeah, you
The
can't do anything
aesthetics
with the
blend
pieces.
almost perfectly.
It's like,
Yeah,
look
no
at mocks
kidding.
like this. They're able to accomplish it. It's
Like Leela's
great.
mask is used so good in there.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Yeah, so
it's beautiful.
it's just a really pretty mock. Yeah.
12 out of 10 would give a thumbs up.
Oh my,
Yeah.
Messa, we don't do number evaluations anymore, okay?
We don't do anything anymore because you said you were going to
Alright,
bring back
this,
mock spotlight. and
I
didn't.
will. Yeah,
This mock gets 3 cats.
3
Because we don't do
cats?
points anymore, so it gets 3 cats.
out of?
Yeah.
Cats. Okay, we're giving away cats now. Okay.
Oh,
So 3 cats worthy mock.
You can expect your 3 cats in the
That's
mail
the
to
most
arrive in 9 to
cats
12 business
we've
days.
ever given a review here on TTV, folks. How about that? How about
The
that?
most cats!
The most cats ever received on any
Wow.
mock by the TTV.
What an
And you're here
honor!
to witness it.
oh my goodness.
That's a good mock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's also a mock that the Secret Walrus made, who continues to be my favorite mockist.
Does
I've
he
already
mock?
I've already
Dude,
featured
hype,
him
he's
like
going to
40
Brick Fair
times. But
again.
he made a Tyrannosaurus Rex mock that is just so cool.
I will go ahead and get a picture of that on the screen. Yeah, no, Anthony Wilson is unbelievably skilled at everything
This looks
he
like
does.
an enemy in Blood Dragon.
How does he
Every-
do this?
He makes so
How is this
much
possible?
quality stuff so frequently and so quickly. I just can't get over it, man. I love everything he does.
All right, a little bit of background. A little bit of background on this. The mock is called Tyrannosaurus Nex, and the goal of this mock, it was for the Nexonites mech contest over on Rebrick that they are hosting right now. And he's been posting this everywhere. It's his submission. It is unbelievable. It's just amazing.
So good, man.
Maybe this
Think
is the
think
secret
about-
to Nexonites making sets better. Just like minimize the orange, use it as accents, don't go overboard.
Highlights. Yeah.
I can't believe
Yeah.
there's people out there that play Lego competitively, because that's what these contests are.
The
You're
Lego
right.
NLGs,
You're totally right.
I'm a professional Lego
MLBs,
competitor.
and I don't mean baseball.
Amazing.
I think this
Yeah.
is another example of a mock where it's just like adding like a nice little display to go with the mock itself is like that extra like mile that you take to really make it feel complete.
It's like your chair.
Yeah, the
Makuta
chair for my
mock.
Makuta mock. Yeah,
Oh.
my Makuta, the actual Makuta itself was only just an okay mock. But once I added that chair, everybody was like, "Whoa!" It
It's
looks
a
so
chair!
Well, yeah, just adding a
What you gotta
display.
say, man? People love chairs. You know?
Nobody
Adding
cared
this-
who I was until I sat in the chair.
The real chairs with the friends we made along the way.
We should mention
But
that
it-
Rebrick is merging with Lego Ideas as well.
Oh, yeah, that is a thing that's happening. But we made a news video about it,
Yeah,
so
that
we
is,
need to talk
that is
about
the
it.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, adding a display to your mock will make it so much better. So do that from now on, everybody. Until it becomes old because everybody does it and no one cares about it anymore.
Ouch.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Just do it.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Alright.
I think that
Before we
fills
end
our,
today, there's
our
one
quota.
thing I want to mention.
Hmm.
One more thing, news related. So we're recording this podcast just for those YouTube listeners. We recorded this on the 29th of June. We should, by the time this episode goes up on YouTube, have already recorded and released our first Ninjago cast for Ninjago Season 9, Hunted. So if you haven't seen that yet, I would definitely encourage you to go check that out and lend your voice to the conversation.
Hunted?
And Hunted Season 9.
Are
Because
there
that
many
comes out on
hunters?
June 30th. No, you haven't, Peel. It's a weird thing.
We
But
just release those
basically,
faster than we release these.
yeah, pretty much. High priority. With Tommy, there's something interesting about Tommy Anderson's Twitter I want to mention. Get some speculation
Oh, no.
going.
Oh,
Tommy
great.
Anderson's Twitter. Every time it's mentioned in the podcast, I'm just like dying inside.
This is good news.
I'm
dude.
sure he
This
is
good
too.
news.
Okay.
He says, on the 27th of June, awesome San Diego Comic Con 2018 info coming soon. Look out for an official LEGO announcement. Hashtag Ninjago. And everyone naturally flipped out, and then he later added an addendum. I was like, please read what the tweet says. Awesome San Diego Comic-Con 2018 info coming soon. Somehow people read, there will be awesome announcements at a panel at SDCC 2018. Not saying they won't or will, but that's not what my tweet says. So if you go back and analyze his wording specifically, there's news coming. Look out for an official LEGO announcement. This could mean multiple things. This could be something super small, like an SDCC exclusive Ninjago minifigure or a set. And that's why he says there's San Diego Comic-Con 2018 info. Look out for an official LEGO announcement, hashtag Ninjago. I doubt that because Tommy Anderson's never involved with the sets. I'm much more thinking it has something to do with the show or the movie?
See,
Question mark? I don't want to get any conspiracy theories going because I heavily doubt anything. But it's very weird for him to hype something up in the manner that he's hyping it up, especially right around SDCC when they typically announce the media stuff.
Won't it be so cool when we look back in like 5 years that this was the episode where we started talking about when Ninjago got canceled at SDCC 2018?
Yeah, that's
awesome news coming, guys. I can finally move on to other franchises. The awesome news is we can finally bring back Chima. The Legends of Chima movie.
Wait a second.
Awesome news, guys. The Ninjago brand got bought out by Verizon.
Oh no!
All the amazing things they're gonna do with it.
Ninjago's been sunsetted.
Didn't
Ninjago 90.
Wasn't it you, Meso, who told me that somewhere along the way, Tommy had mentioned that there was a crossover that was going to be happening between Ninjago and some other theme?
I didn't tell you. I literally said it on like two episodes ago.
Okay,
like one episode ago, he was doing the interview with Brett Miller, and Brett Miller was like, he was asked the question, "Hey, are there ever going to be any crossovers like when you did it with Chima?" And he was like, "No, because we're not in the near future because they're kind of expensive to do because of assets and whatnot. But there is something coming in the future that's going to come way out of left field." Was his exact wording. And I was like memeing, like, "Oh, it's Bionicle," but not necessarily.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. There's a very limited pool of things this could be. The fact that it's SDCC related implies to me it's not set related, but that's just my guess. Could be a game, could be something to do with the movie, could be a spin-off show. I'm inclined to not think it has anything to do with the mainline TV series, like, oh, look at this episode preview. We're going to air at the panel, because he went out of his way to make that second tweet that was like almost clarifying that it's not going to be a thing that's announced at the panel. Look out for an official LEGO announcement, which means like a press release, which means it might be big news, or it could just be like a set. I don't know.
Yeah. No.
By the time this episode comes out, it's possible we'll already know, but maybe not, because SDCC isn't until end of July. So get your speculation a-going.
Get ready for the big news, boys.
Big news!
One Piece fans out there.
They are big. They are of an above average size. You know, you could call them big news.
Big news.
These developments are above average in scope.
Who's big and why is he nude?
And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up today.
VAR looking for something specific here.
So
Can't help you, bro.
I'd like to thank you all so very much for joining us for BrickFeed today. We're almost episode 100. We're like 2 episodes away from
name's Big.
No, stop.
How's it going, y'all? Anybody seen my pants?
I did very quickly wanted to mention before we wrap up. I was recently on the Just Too Good podcast, or the Just Too podcast, and that episode that I'm on has come out now. It's public. If you want to know why I was fired, I highly recommend you go check that episode out. Because
God, just dropping that ball.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's what we discussed. The truth is out there. It's finally been revealed. I highly recommend it. And we also chat about my near-death experiences, or the lack thereof. And it's a good time.
Okay.
Or the lack thereof.
The lack
That's gonna be it for BrickFeed, guys.
On my episode, I'm gonna discuss all the murders that I've committed. Or lack thereof.
Thanks for listening.
But
I am the
yeah.
person.
Excuse me, I am the host. Thank you. No, again.
Well, then do your job.
So go check it out. It's a good time. Thank you, Just Too Good, for having me on. All right, so thank you all for listening. I hope you've had a good time. Remember, BrickFeed is usually every other week, but we try to do our best to announce when it is in the Patreon chat, and you can get access.
There's been a lot of news recently, so we've done it like 3 times in a row.
Yeah, no kidding, right? You can get access to our live Patreon chat, pledging at the very least $1 a month over on Patreon, Patreon/the TTV channel. We are currently working our way toward bringing TTV shirts back, and we're getting ever so closer to that goal every single time
Please
passes.
Help. The price of a pencil or a candy bar will net you the chance to get shirts. Help us.
It is also where we announce when we're going to be doing podcasts and or game nights, which we will do at least somewhat infrequently, and you can have access to our live studio audience, so no delay on that. So thank you all so very much for listening. We appreciate your viewership and you in the comments. This week, we're going to go ahead and shout out a patron, and you know what? For once, I'm gonna be nice to a long-time patron of ours. He's been here through thick and thin, even though he did drop out for a time while I was fired, which I appreciate. But he's always there, allows people to slip on him. It's Pia Lacara. We appreciate you, buddy. Even though we're hard on you because you're a little bit of a young squirt.
He's the worst.
We appreciate you being here, and we're glad that you're with us.
Yo, can we have a rematch?
Oh,
When
no.
like Wrecking Ball comes out in regular Overwatch, can I fight you as Hammond?
Oh, no.
That's gonna be it for BrickFeed.
Wrestler's gonna come in like a wrecking ball.
So, thank you all so very much. I'm LJ.
I'm big.
I am Mesa.
I'm Tenebrae Victus.
I'm Redrick's Claymore.
Yeah, Destiny Joe!
Yo, I'm still looking for my pants.
No, I forgot the
Where's my
music.
Anyone know where that is?
Where's
Nice,
my
folks.
pants?
Where's my pants?
Oh, no, please don't. Alright, I should have had this playing earlier. Thank you all so very much for listening. We'll see you all next time. Hashtag LJ for BrickFeed host.
Oh my
How
god.
did this
Alright,
happen to me?
Back to the pool.
No, no! No! Donate to the Patreon
He's nice and warm.
to help Var get some pants.
Give us money.
My name's
Remember
Big.
to check us out on Vessel.
No, don't do
up.
that.
We recommend brick by brick something.
We recommend Brick by
Audible,
Brick how LEGO
trial.com
rewrote the
slash
rules of innovation and conquered the global toy industry.
Oh, there's bricks in it. Oh.
I love Big.